hope you're having a great Friday. I'm back here in the KDKA studios and getting ready to talk a little bit about the NFL Combine, which I'm going to next week. We're leaving Monday. We have all kind of plans, big agenda, itinerary, what we're going to do out there. One of the main things that we're doing is we're going to talk to Kevin Colbert and also Kenny Pickett. The quarterbacks talk on Wednesday. It's a big priority for the Steelers. I don't know what position in the draft they're going to take a quarterback, but they are, I would imagine, and I would have bet on it, that they would take a quarterback at some point in the draft, maybe not the first round. But, we'll talk to Kevin Colbert. We had a chance to talk to him last week about a bunch of different things. I have a one-on-one lined up with him on Tuesday afternoon, and you'll obviously hear that on KDKA News. But plan to talk to him about, the Combine. And this is really important for the Steelers. They didn't have the Combine, what was it, in 2021. And Kevin Colbert talked about how much they missed on having the Combine, and they had pro days. The year before, they had the Combine. I was there. I've been there basically every year since I've been here at KDKA and talked to Kevin Colbert. They had the Combine, and that's when the world shut down right after the Combine, and they didn't have pro days. But this year, they're back to both. I know Kevin Colbert has been excited about the fact that they're getting kind of back to normal. And, the one thing that I did ask him last week was, since he's retiring and kind of getting away and going to be in a consultant role now, is he doing more or less? And I thought he'd be doing less, but he actually told me he's doing much more this offseason, much more scouting and evaluation of these guys and the players that they're going to look at the Combine. So what the Combine does, for me at least, is now I have a better idea who the Steelers are looking at, the positions, the guys that they're talking to, because when you talk to the prospects there, you'll know if they talk to the Steelers. You also know, you'll have a good idea who the Steelers, I'll try to get a good idea who the Steelers are interviewing while they're out there. And they'll probably interview up to 60 guys, maybe even more, maybe less. But they'll talk to a lot of guys out there in the hotel room. They'll take them out to dinner. A handful of guys will take the family, and it's a big process. And everyone is in one place. That's the benefit of the NFL Combine. And this is the last year it's going to be in Indianapolis for a while. They're going to try to rotate it, from what I understand, in years moving forward. But we know the Steelers are interested in a quarterback. We know the Steelers need offensive line help, which that could be their first round pick. We know the Steelers need defensive line help, depending on what happens to Stephon Tuitt, Tyson Alu. And defensive tackle is thinner in the draft, Colbert said. It's a good draft for cornerbacks. It's a good draft for a couple other positions. It's not a good draft for centers. It's not a good draft for guards, and it's not a good draft for defensive tackles. Those are three positions of need for the Steelers, and positions that they could take in the first couple rounds. It is a good draft for wide receivers. They could potentially use that too, because they're losing Juju Smith-Schuster, and we've seen the roller coaster ride that Chase Claypool has been, and how Deontay Johnson has dropped so many balls at the end of the year. So they could go all over the board, and that's what's really interesting about this Steelers offseason this year. We don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to draft a quarterback in the first round? They could draft any position, and that's why the Combine is going to be fun for me, because I'll have a better idea what the Steelers are going to do. So I'm going to be out there Monday. I'm going to be out there Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday's a big day because it's the quarterbacks. That's when we'll talk to Kenny Pickett, maybe some of these other guys like Malik Willis, Sam Howell, who I've heard that the Steelers liked. There's a couple other quarterbacks out there, Corral, Desmond Ridder, who could be a second-round pick, and maybe that's where the Steelers try to find a project in the second round, but they go for that tackle or defensive player in the first round. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's the inkling I have right now, that they might wait for the quarterback or go get a veteran quarterback. There's a better, the draft, the quarterback class next year is much deeper than this year, and maybe the Steelers will target that and try to get by with a Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins, whatever other veteran free agent they get. Also, at the Combine, you'll find out what direction the Steelers might go, because there's free agency and then there's draft. And so they're going to have to try to find guys in free agency. They got a ton of money. And then the guys that they don't get in free agency, that they'll have to get in the draft, or vice versa. So it's going to be an interesting offseason, and I can't wait to get out to Indianapolis on Monday. I'll be out there. Watch for my reports on KDKA-TV. Also, we'll be doing this pretty much every day from there. I'll see you later.